Thank you. Thank you so much. So I have the difficult task, I would say impossible task, to follow those most amazing, compelling speakers of the night. So I just hope that I do justice to the message that I think that we're all trying to give out here. So before I go into essentially my talk, I have a video for you guys, and then we can kind of discuss it. What I hope to achieve tonight is that the people that haven't necessarily gone down that slope, that have kind of convinced themselves out of it, I hope that what I'm about to share can kind of change your mind, because when you're going down that slope, it's the best feeling that you can possibly have. So it has allowed me to be worthy of the stage today. So without further ado, I would just like to preface my talk also by saying that I'm not necessarily a professional speaker, nor I'm a motivational speaker for that matter. What I'm here to do today is share a very subjective experience that I've had of founding and operating Hidden Grounds for the past 5 years. So how many of you guys have heard of Seth Godin? By a show of hands. Okay, few, all right. How many of you have heard of the purple cow theory? By the show of hands? Okay, good. So most of you haven't. Good. All right, we can move forward. So here's the deal. In 2003, Seth Godin, who's regarded as sort of the god of entrepreneurship advice, came out with a book called The Purple Cow: Transforming Your Business by Marking It Remarkable. And essentially, to summarize that book, he talks about how if you're just driving down the road in the farm fields, you see just a normal cow, there's nothing exciting about it. You don't stop to take a picture of it, let alone share that picture with any of your friends if you do decide to take that picture. Or if you do decide to take that picture, it's probably because of the view, not necessarily the cow. So what he says is, if you just took a container of purple paint and splashed it all across that same cow, all of a sudden the entire cow is covered with purple paint. That same guy, if he is going to pass by again, he's going to stop, he's going to take a picture of it, and not only that, he's going to share it with every single person on his phone. Because how many times do you come across a purple cow just roaming around in the middle of the fields, right? And what he calls this entire mentality is the remarkable phenomenon. And the message is essentially simple. Whatever you guys decide to do, whatever path you choose, whatever careers, that trajectory that you choose, you have to find those remarkable things to apply. Only then it's memorable to you and to the people that you're impacting. I'll let you in on a little secret. If you guys have heard of Hidden Grounds, we were built on two ideas. One, let's serve everything remarkable. And I know that's a huge task. And at time, it seemed impossible as well. But we said to ourselves, let's serve remarkable stuff. And if it's not remarkable, let's just take it off the menu. And not being a franchise and just kind of creating your own gives you that flexibility, that if the customers don't necessarily agree with what you've created, you can kind of take that off the menu. You don't have to keep it on there. And the second idea is, let's maintain the business as well as we possibly could. Because opening a good business and closing down a bad business is extremely easy. But the most difficult part about the entrepreneurship is maintaining that business for sustainable growth. So before I tell you guys exactly what I do, I kind of want to tell you guys who I am. My name is Anand Patel, as Michael introduced me. And I started Hidden Grounds in 2013 with my friend. To be completely honest with you, it was the most impulsive decision that I've ever made in my life. I just remembered coming home from work one day, switching on Netflix, and just watching it for 6 straight hours. Had dinner, went to sleep. When I woke up the next morning, I realized I had done that same exact set of activities for about 2 months. And that was not that was not my idea of a post-graduation life. And I realized if I don't do something about this, it's just never going to change. I'm going to be in this cycle of activities. Sure, small variables are going to change here and there. Maybe I'll watch a different show. Maybe not House of Cards tonight. But essentially, I'm going to do the same thing. 9 to 5, come home, watch a show, eat dinner, go to sleep, repeat the cycle. And what's the creativity in that? What kind of an impact are you really making? What kind of an impact was I really making among the 50,000 other people that were employed by the same company? And so that is when I decided I wanted to start my own company, whatever it was. I didn't even drink coffee. I just wanted to start my own company. Like I mentioned, it was a very impulsive decision. Luckily, it worked out really well for me, but it was a very impulsive decision. I just wanted to change my constant at the time so badly that I quit my job. For 3 months, we traveled to Boston, DC, New York, sat in different coffee shops all day, about 8, 9 hours a day, just observing, taking notes, identifying patterns. How many outlets are there? What are people saying? What kind of material they use for their aprons? I mean, every single detail that you can imagine. How many chairs are inside of the shop? And I always had an outgoing personality, so I always went to the store manager and asked him questions that you're technically not supposed to ask. How much money do you guys make? What are your expenses? What are your headaches? Who are your top performers? And all of this information really gave me an idea of what worked really well and what didn't work. It was literally as easy as that. For 3 months, sitting in different coffee shops. I loved it. It was the time of my life. If you can imagine, 4 years spending in corporate, every single day, going into a cubicle, 9 to 5, watching shows, to now all of a sudden, every single day is different. Every single day, you explore a new coffee shop. Every single day, you're drinking something that you enjoy very much now. Talking to people. I mean, that is who I am at this point, right? That is my right situation. I think it was Tara that talked about finding the right situation. That is my right situation. And so, essentially, when we started Hitting Grounds, we wanted to bring ourselves to what we were doing, our culture. I'm Indian, so I wanted to bring that culture as an expression in the decor, in the products. And that became my remarkable. So if you walk into Hitting Grounds, or if you already walked into Hitting Grounds, you see there are a lot of little decorations here and there. And they're all combination of things that either my family has given me, my friends have given me, I have purchased when I went to India. And I think that's what makes it so remarkable, that it's such a unique thing. And every single time I go in there, I feel like I'm home. I literally feel like this is my living room. And that is why you'll see me just randomly starting a conversation with somebody that I just don't know, because you guys are coming into my house. At least in my head, that is what I'm thinking. So I'm serving you chai, right? I'm serving you Bombay sandwiches. In my mind, this is my home. And this is what Hitting Grounds has done for me, is I've found the right situation, and I've made it remarkable by applying me. The second thing that we do really well is maintenance. And when I say maintenance, I don't necessarily mean, doing the same activities over and over again. What I mean by that is essentially this. When you walk into Hitting Grounds, you'll find all the decorations are in the same place every single day for a specific amount of time. And then we'll move them. So every 6 months, there's a cycle of different things that are happening inside the shop without the consumers necessarily knowing about it. And when you guys come in every 6 months, it's different. So every time you come in, it's a different environment. It's a different people. It's a different set of decorations that we have. We use different mugs. We use different coffees. So yes, you're walking into hidden grounds, but you feel different every single time. See, the thing about maintenance, I always compare it to get into a relationship, right? You meet a person, you take him out for dinner, you wear a fancy watch, you drive a fancy car, you pick her up, you take her to a fancy restaurant, you guys go for movies, and repeating this cycle, right, for a sustainable period of time will increase your probability of getting into a relationship with that person. On the flip side of it, how hard has it gotten to break up, really? Right? You could be spending 2 years with this person, and if it doesn't work out, you just text them, "I'm done with you." And that's it. It's not the most ideal action, by the way, but this happens. This is the reality, right? This is such a huge reality of the world, whether we like it or not. Getting into the situations is easy. Coming out of that relationship is easy. What takes a great character is maintenance of that relationship. You give it your all every single day to increase the standard of your happiness that you established yesterday. The point is to commit yourself through the highs and lows, through the ups and downs of life. Whatever you're going through personally, but when you're with this person, you're giving them your 150%. That is how my relationship is with my shop. Regardless of what happens personally, as soon as I step foot into that door, it's a different person. I never cheat my business out of my energy, ever, ever. And I think that is the true definition of maintenance, right? I care enough to maintain it for a long period of time. So, market remarkable, maintain it really well. Both sound a little intimidating, easy to do, but here's the brutal reality also. That is how my life essentially looks like, right? I was trying to illustrate the best way to illustrate what I go through on a daily basis or a monthly basis or a yearly basis, and that is how it looks like, right? So there is a state of constant, and then I want to change that state of constant. So I go out and find something remarkable. And that remarkable helps me in changing that constant and take it to that peak. And then after some time passes by, goes down again to that same constant. And then I go and find something remarkable. The goal is, whatever your constant was this year, next year you have to do better. Regardless of how many times that peaks, the point of those peaks is that whatever your constant is this year or today, tomorrow it has to be better. Has to be better. I've had a lot of sleepless nights, right? You guys are probably used to this right now. But at least you guys get to plan it, right? Operating a business is basically having a newborn child. It demands your attention any time of the day or night, and you just have to be there. You have to feed it. You have to change the diaper. You have to do anything and everything to make sure that the baby is satisfied and not crying. That is exactly the life of an entrepreneur, or at least mine, at least. All right? So that is the brutal reality. However, the thing about this is, have you guys ever heard of the story when a mother essentially lifts the entire front of the car to free her trapped child underneath? Why does she do that? She does that not because she has to, because it's the right thing to do. She does that because she deeply cares about her child. And that's a natural connection that can't be quantified, that you can't put a percentage on it, right? That is just a natural connection that a mother has with a child. Think about it, a mother lifting the entire front of the car. She has just discovered an untapped potential in her because she was forced into the right situation. In my case, wasn't necessarily forced into it, so I got lucky in that way. I designed it so that I found my right situation. And that allows me to continuously tap into my internal power, my output, my performance. I could be working 16 hours a day, and at the end of the day, I'm ready to go at it again. I'm ready to go at it again. I talk about this every single day with every single one of my friends, to the point where they just kind of tell me I need to stop at this point. We need to work on a relationship in that way. But I leave you with these three things as a way of saying, only 5 years ago, I was in this constant chase of just, hey, paying off the student loans, right? Which I'm sure you guys are going to face. Paying off the student loans, paying off the bills, paying off my car, paying off that, paying off that. And I made those reasons, justifications as to why I was in the situation that I was at. And I just kind of accepted that. And then what I did was I really sat down and I listed out all the things that motivate me on daily basis. And I really evaluate why I do those things. Why do I do this? Why do I wake up at this hour in the morning? Why do I do these things? And I really try to question things in order to finally stumble upon an answer that I haven't necessarily thought about. So I urge you to do the same thing. I urge you to make a list of all the things that you guys deeply maintain, that you deeply care enough for, to do different things with it, to bring out uniqueness about it. And ask yourself why you do that, because you never know. That can, in turn, become your career path. So in ending, I challenge you to do the same thing. If you have an idea, if you want to do something different, right? If you think that hearing my story for you is absolutely impossible, I challenge you to take that idea and do something about it. I challenge you to be on this stage 3 years, 4 years from now, sharing your experiences. Thank you.